So we're talking about logic, natural laws. What are natural laws? Natural laws predict the future outcome. Simplest one, gravity. If I release it, it's going to fall. This is a natural law. When we understand natural laws, and we understand that natural laws govern reality, once we see the initial conditions and we understand the natural law, we all understand that when I release the bottle, it will fall. Okay? When it is as simple as that, we all can understand it. It doesn't matter what our technical expertise is. When it becomes simple, it is similar to the experience of an expert. In other words, experts make things simple. So I tell everyone, if you have a technical person and they come into the office and they're talking to you and they quickly start talking technical to you, they're not an expert. They're a technical person. And the reason they talk technical is because they can't make it simpler. That is a natural law. So people who are true experts realize that they're an expert, but the person they're talking to is not an expert, so they will make things what? Simple, like this. Okay? And when it's simple, is it more transparent or less transparent? More transparent. Does everybody understand that? Why? Because everybody understands this without any explanation from one person to another. Did anybody ask the next person what's going to happen when he releases the bottle? No. Now, where we quickly go askew with our ideas is when it's simple and transparent. The need to actually have a discussion with somebody else goes up or down? Goes down. The need to trust somebody else and say, well, what do you think? Goes up or down? Goes down. See, this is a change in how we think. Because the traditional system, everybody's thinking, in order to get the system optimal, we need to trust more. We need to have better relationships with each other. And that will drive efficiency. What I'm proposing is, when it is transparent and simple, the need for trust goes what? Down. The need for relationships go down. Why? Because it's so transparent, you don't have to spend a lot of time to develop a relationship to tell people that we're high performing. Does this make sense to everybody? See, the part of this that we missed is when it's not simple like this and not transparent like this. Can more people or less people become experts? What's the answer? More. And even though it's not a reality, it allows people to call themselves experts and walk around and act like experts when in actuality they're not. And you will see, in reality, what happens is now owners will see somebody walking around like an expert. They may be bigger. They may have lasted longer. They will think they're an expert, and the results will be what? Bad. And everybody will wonder, wow, this is really complex. This problem is so huge. Let's bring more people in to solve this. When in reality, all they had to understand was that's not an expert. And the problem goes away. Just bring an expert in. And an expert will see it from beginning to end. An expert understands people. Now, do we have more people who see things from beginning to end before it happens? Or do we have more people who start off blind and they just keep walking through the project like this? What do you think? Oh, let me explain it so it's simple. Do we have more people who think of themselves rather than everybody else? Or do we have more people who the first thing they think about is, if I'm going to do something, how does it affect everybody else? What do we think here? Yeah, it's more people think of themselves. How do we know this? Simple, by observation. When you go to work, if somebody comes to you and all they want to talk about is what they're going to do on their holiday, that person is thinking more of who? Does that make sense? You know, I would never talk about what I'm going to do on the weekend, because what I do on the weekend is what I do in the office. I love my work. And people say, well, what do you do for holidays? Oh, wait a minute. We work. Well, what kind of life is that? I love my work. Somebody wants to give me a holiday, leave me in my office, let me be creative, nobody bother me. That's my holiday. I love doing that. I tell students, when you pick a job, it has 3 major requirements. Number 1, you must be very good at it, which means it must be very easy for you. Because if it's easy for you, you're actually good at it. Don't doubt yourself. Whatever you're good at, that tells you who you are and where you can add the most value. Do not go pick something that's difficult, where somebody says, well, you do that because it earns more money. That is ridiculous. That is trying to make an expert out of a non-expert. That person will actually be a non-expert, and they will hate their job. Make sure you pick something that's simple for you. Number 2, make sure you find that whatever you think is simple, you love doing all the time. So you will do it whether you get paid or not. You will always be thinking about it. It's who you are. But the third is most important. Make sure that whatever is simple for you and whatever you love adds tremendous value to everybody else. Once you find that, that is your calling in life. The other thing is, because things happen from one step to the next, they're not disjointed. When people find themselves in school, I tell them, it's not what somebody's going to teach you that's going to change your life and give you your future. It's actually who you are. So find out who you are, find out what's simple, what you love doing, and if it adds value, then have faith in yourself, right? People who are experts in what they do, they don't have to fake it. They don't have to purport to be an expert. They always see into the future. They always think of everybody else because it adds value for other people. That's a true expert. So when we don't have transparency, it actually allows more people to call themselves experts, and they're not really experts. Right. And that is part of the problem. So when transparency goes up, the need for decision-making should go what? Down. Right? Who has to decide in their mind? Who needs 10 minutes to think about what's going to happen when I release this bottle? The need for decision-making goes down. But also the need for trust and relationships go down because it brings transparency. And in transparency, the experts will stand and the non-experts will sit. And we have found out a way to do this. So where somebody who understands this, when they look around and all the vendors come in or their own employees come in, whatever happens, the person who understands can look around the room and quickly see some people stand and other people sit down. And I propose, if you truly understand what we're going to discuss today, you can look in somebody else's eyes and know who they are and what they're going to do before they do it. This is not a trick anymore. This is like, it happens in every country, it happens in every culture, it happens in every organization. What causes risk are people who are blind.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions about the best value approach or for Dr. Dean, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get to them in a later video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.